Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael, otherwise known as Brub, and I am a up-and-coming GamePigeon Pro Anagrams player. So before we talk about any of this, we have a lot to discuss first as far as the lore on how I got here. So I owned and operated with my friend the only active GamePigeon Discord server in the entire world. It had 375 members from over 25 different countries, and these are all the best players in the world. I saw that there was a couple, really inactive Game Pigeon servers, and I was like, what can I do to make this community, revived again? Because I was really passionate about Game Pigeon. So that's what I did. Over the next 17 months, we hosted 164 tournaments once or twice a week on Challenge and Bracket HQ, and we had all these players. Like, this was a part of the Olympics event we had here. Yeah, we hosted an Olympics too, which was crazy. I'll pull up those stats real quick. We had 77 participants, 48 tournaments in 10 days, by the way. That was 2,747 matches, $430 in cash prizes that I all raised myself. I did not have to pay out of pocket at all. Thank you to all the donors out there. And I had 135 hours of screen time managing those tournaments every 10 days, or those 10 days in total. Every single group chat was its own separate match, and I made all the group chats. So it was 2,747 different group chats that I was in. My phone was about to explode. And then, yeah, that was 82,000 plus text messages. So that was awesome. And that went really well. The server has been since retired. My friend Travis and I just got really busy with other life stuff, professional things. So we decided to shut it down. We've been working on some side projects. But Travis's side of things was he kept an entire analytics page of everything we've ever done in the server. We had 8 league seasons too. So we had a full roster of stuff, and this was the first thing we ever did where it was teams of 3 for 8-ball pool, which is one of the really popular games on GamePigeon, and it was a blast. Travis has done so much work, and I thank him dearly. This is all insane. We eventually made a dashboard out of this. Like to brag a little bit, Discord, the Discord forum, I have 100 5-star reviews for an average of 5.0 stars. That is perfect. I'd like to think we hosted a pretty good server, and maybe it'll revive someday, who knows. But anyway, how did I get what we're looking at now? So I am one of the best GamePigeon 8-ball players in the world, as well as archery, darts-ish, basketball. I'm pretty good at all the games. I have 25,000 wins combined. I've been playing for a really long time. But for whatever reason, I got really into anagrams, especially the speed portion of it. And what you're looking at now is a database comprised of the 100 best boards that you can get in GamePigeon anagrams. Out of the thousands upon thousands of boards you can get, these are the best ones. And this was actually a database originally made by the best player in the world, Chris, several years ago. But when I started learning these boards one by one, we'll get into that later as well, I noticed there was mistakes here and there very sparsely. For example, we're going to look at operas real quick. 6s, by the way, 6-letter words, are worth 2,000 points, while 5-letter words are worth 1,200 points. So it's just this times 2,000 plus this times 1,200 equals that score. That's how these boards are ranked. Okay, so if you go to the operas tab right here, these words are all pulled from Collins Scrabble Words Dictionary, which is a dictionary used by every pro Scrabble tournament in the world, in every country except for the United States and Canada. We use a completely separate dictionary. But anyway, we had to then take the Collins data, since we can't get the GamePigeon dictionary, and remove all of the words manually that didn't count in GamePigeon but counted in Collins, because GamePigeon uses the GamePigeon dictionary. For example, Aspro was in this combo of words. When I mean combo, I mean all of the words that don't include a certain letter. So in operas, all of these words don't include the letter E. All these words don't include the letter A, O, P, R, etc. This is like the full board. Anyway, Aspro is Australian slang for like a TA. That's in Collins, but no, doesn't count in GamePigeon. And I went, whoa, hold on a sec. That affects the score, because this used to say 32. That's that score. That would be like up here. Now it's not. So I was like, ooh, okay. I wonder how many like other, mistakes there are. Not bashing Chris at all. He's the absolute GOAT. Like, he is the best player in the world. Plays on the iPad, like 6 fingers. He's insane. But anyway, I was like looking around and I'm like, oh shoot, like ranks was not even in the original data set. Neither was lavers, and like stairs got moved around. I remember, what's another one? Daters got moved around. So I was like, this is all very, very interesting. And by the way, I got those definitions from an app called Ulu, U-L-U, and that is Collins Dictionary. And you can pick a bunch of different dictionaries, but you basically get to, pick your word, and then you get a definition for it, so you can technically learn what all these words mean. However, that's not really the objective of this game. And I gotta really get back on topic here because there's a lot to talk about. So anyway, I made this all by hand, and I also made every board broken out by hand as well. So this is what Prates looks like. This is the best board in the entire game. So as you can see here, it's labeled by the 6s with their 5s singular counterpart, meaning removing the S. So Pater's Pater, you have Petar's Petar, Prate's Prate. Notice how repass doesn't have like repass without the T. Like, that's not a word, so that doesn't count. That's why it's kind of looks funky like that. So then you have all the words without an A, without an E, without a P, without an R, without an S, without a T. So that itself is in alphabetical order, while the individual combos are also in alphabetical order. This, by the way, rates and spare each have 13 words respectively. Those are the best 2 combos in the game. If you are a beginner trying to get better, learn these 2 combos first and memorize them, and then do other stuff. So anyway, yep, all 100 boards are here. But then I kind of took it a step further. There's a 7s Anagrams game mode, and I made that as well. These are all labeled by difficulty, actually. So that's why they're in different colors like this. Oh, I forgot to explain something. How do you get a board like this? Because when you press Anagrams and press play, you're going to get a random board. You have no idea what it is. Until a group of very smart Anagrams Pro individuals all got together one day, and they created a group chat called Spamagrams, which has been around for several years, which I'm currently in. They will send thousands of boards per day and just cycle through them until they get good ones. And if you send like 50 in a row, more likely than not, you're going to land on one of these eventually. And then they play it, and then they send it, and then everyone else can play it. But I know what you're thinking. Well, how can everyone play the board when GamePigeon is a one-on-one transaction? Good question. At the very end, at the couple last frames, when the clock hits 0, you swipe out of the game before it sends. Then it doesn't count. Not many GamePigeon games do that. Once you start the game, you're kind of in it. But with GamePigeon Anagrams, you can swipe out of the board. So then everyone gets a chance to play the board because it's good, so you don't want to send it. Like, if someone were to send Prates, that's called a triple purple dot. And yes, the triple purple, like, it's 3 purple dot emojis, essentially. That's why these boards are in dark purple like this. These are the 3 best boards in the game, hence they get a triple dot. 4 through 15 gets a double dot. 16 through 50 gets a single dot. The etiquette is that you don't send dots. You want everyone to play it, get their fair share. These are known as sends. They are pretty good, but it's not worth it to not save it. Like, they'll just play the board, send it, people will check out their score. Cool. Whatever. So yeah, same concept applies here. It's kind of like, this one's more vague. Normally people do like the top 10 as triple dots, and then 11 through like 30 or something with doubles. Anyway, we're currently in the process of verifying the difficulties on these, which is why you get this random pink here. We're also doing an expansion process right now manually, where you get we expanded it to 150, so that's why there's like a notes section here. I extracted the dictionary game files with an app configurator for the other languages too, which, if you didn't know, yes, there are other GamePigeon languages. So here's Spanish, all 100 boards. This is so silly and awesome. I hope you guys appreciate this. And Italian, French, German, and Russian, which the Russian boards are crazy. Like, there's no S's in the top 100. And also, like, you get all these symbols too, and it's just, God, so cool. Anyway, what else? Okay, so what I'm going to be doing for the next 9 months is I'm going to become an Anagrams pro. I'm already really good at Anagrams. I'm probably number 20 in the world, maybe. I want to be in the top 10, if not in the top 5. Like, I really want to compete. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to learn all of these boards. See, I have an address book in my notes, and I've saved the Pro Anagrams group chat for about 5 months now, and I have every single dot that's ever been sent in the Notes app, so I can find all of these boards. I know what else you're thinking. Well, you can just play the board only once, right? No. I'll let you in on a little secret. You can replay a word game board. And no, this is not cheating, although it can be used for cheating, but, you know, it's kind of almost impossible to get a personal record on something on a specific board unless you keep replaying it over and over again. Otherwise, it's just sheer luck. So we have, like, for example, I'm going to learn this first, labors, okay? And then I'm just going to, like, memorize these combos. I'm going to start off slow, go faster, yada yada. The actual process, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I made these leaderboards too, so people can kind of compete on own individual boards for those in the group chat. So these are, like, you know, the pro players. These leaderboards aren't really being used yet because I just made them, so they're going to get more filled out. But look at this. I made all the raw data. See, this is how, you know, I put passion into this, because even the raw data set looks clean. Like, I got, like, the colors here. Like, it looks so cool. Yeah, so all this raw data is here. It filters into the master leaderboards here, which is all 50 boards combined. I didn't want to make leaderboards for the Sens, so that's why this is here. So yeah, Slavic, he's the GOAT. Scaro, he's the GOAT. These two helped me out the most with the GamePigeon database, like verifying all of the information. They were the ones that would clear the boards and then send them to me, and it has all the word lists, and I would check it one by one to make sure it was correct. And Chris is, like, you know, the Mount Rushmore of anagrams. I mean, he was the one who kind of started this whole thing. So shout out to the whole anagrams community for that. Shout out to Travis for building the Discord with me, and I will be documenting all of my anagrams journey over the next several months. I get really into this kind of stuff, so it'll be pretty interesting. It's Brubby Sauce on all platforms, BRUBBYSAUCE. I'm on Twitch, not on Twitch. Well, I'm on Twitch, but I won't be streaming it. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We start tomorrow. Let's ride.